Part of being a girl's girl is holding the woman in your life accountable. It's not being a girl's girl to defend a woman being with a man she knows is taken. It's not being a girl's girl to encourage a girl to cheat on her partner. It's not being a girl's girl to participate in another woman's pain. Girls get so caught up in this girl's girl stuff that they forget to also hold women accountable.
If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? What make you think you greater than Jesus, nigga?
This is gonna be a good one. Peace, everybody. It's your boy. Let's talk. We back with another video. All right, man. So I got a good video, man, for us tonight. So it's a lot of people who's been complaining. A lot of women, actually, they've been complaining about men. They've been saying that, a lot of men been coming at women that, who are y'all? Y'all have no right to try to hold women accountable. That y'all have no say. Y'all don't know what women go through. And some might argue that it could be fair, rightfully so. They can say that men don't know what women go through. Like, we are not in their bodies. Men are and women are different. So some might argue that they do have a point. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let women hold women accountable, because we like to talk about, accountability. And a lot of us, we say that it would be better if women was holding women accountable, like, then the message would get through, because it seems like they don't listen to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to counter that. So what I did was I gathered a bunch of videos from TikTok where a bunch of ladies, they did just that. They were holding women accountable.
I like this one.
We're going to get through that, but if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also, if you haven't followed me on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, you can also follow me at the same thing. Let's Talk by N Lynch. And make sure y'all follow me on Facebook, because right now I'm almost close to 100,000 followers. So I'm trying to get at least 100,000 by December. If I can get that, that'll be great. But without further ado, let's get right into this video.
Bitch, do it yourself. Y'all know that song? Anything you can do, I can do better. For somebody to do something better than you, you have to do it first, right? So with that being said, bitch, how you want a nigga to get your nails done, your hair done, your lashes done, keep up with your maintenance? And bitch, you don't even do that. You don't pay your bills. You don't keep up with your maintenance. You're struggling every fucking day of the month. And now this nigga supposed to come around and save you? No, it's something that don't sit right about that. If I was a nigga, I'd probably be single, fucking with these 2025 generation 304s. I just learned that term, y'all.
A lot of guys are single. A lot of guys just checked out. They ain't even trying to deal with chicks out here, because you're right. A lot of them are 304s. And it's bad, because I like to be fair, because I don't think that it's all women. I'm not going to put all women into the same category. But the bad part about this is that the ones that are good, they're surrounded by a bunch of no good women.
He ain't lying.
And a lot of them don't speak up. They don't speak out. And the ones that do, they get ridiculed. So some of them, they want to say something, but then they feel if they go against the sister code, then all the girls gonna go against them. And it's like, if they do, okay, so what? Because at the end of the day, are you trying to be associated with just the girl code, or are you trying to get married? Are you trying to have a companion? Because, yeah, being cool with girls and all that stuff, having friends, having a sister code, that is cool. I'm not going to knock that. But how are you going to be 20, 30, 40 years from now? Are you still going to be trying to rock out the girl code? Because most women, they want companions. They want somebody to settle down with. Even if they are in their old whole phase, eventually, majority of women, if not all women, want to settle down at some point. They're not going to want to be with their girlfriends when they get in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and above. Yeah, a lot of girls need to start thinking about that before they start being silent.
Hey, girl bosses, I have a genuine question to the ones of you who are constantly like, men never hold men accountable. Why the fuck do you lose your mind when women hold other women accountable? a string. But like, some of you will literally sit there and complain and cry and like whine, tell the whole world how it frustrates you that men never stand up for women. Men never do this. Like, you know, they don't ever hold other men accountable for their wrongdoings. But then the moment I or someone else on this app tries to talk about wrongdoings that certain women do, all of a sudden it's misogyny, it's putting down women, it's women hating. And it's like, okay, so only men need to be held accountable. This is literally why that fucking meme from the dudes of like 100 women versus accountability. That meme exists because of how many of you will literally cry, throw up, and send someone to fucking hell before you take accountability for your own actions. I've called out so many things that other women do that's genuinely fucking disgusting. Like, it's not even about women issues. It's just shit that women get away with. And women will sugarcoat and validate one another on stupid shit, harmful shit that feeds into patriarchy 24/7. But then you call them out and they're like, I think you have internalized misogyny. So stop screaming about men being evil and you can't even take accountability for just a simple 5-second self-reflection. It's actually holding us back.
It's not just holding y'all back, it's holding us all back as a species. Because, like I said, men, they no longer really pursuing women as a mass. And when you get stuff like that, you really have no children. Check out the populations over there in China. Like, men, they really checked out. We think it's bad over here in the States, but over there in China, the men, they not dealing with women at all. At least over here, you still got some suckers who still believe and hope and everything, but over there, the men over there, they're not doing it, and it's a lot of those guys over there. Y'all know the population of China is billions of them, and they ain't even dealing with it. It's a detriment to all of us as a whole. And like she said, a lot of women get upset once you hold that mirror up to their face because they don't like accountability. And I mentioned that before. Not from men, not from other women, not from nobody. But I think that just because they don't like it, that don't mean that we shouldn't just stop holding them accountable, because eventually they're not going to have no choice but to be accountable. If man and the woman who do hold them accountable, if we come together as a collective and start weeding out the bad women and men, because it's not just on women, it's on men too. But if we weed out the bad seeds, then I think we can prosper as a community. Because, like I said, the community is gone. The culture is trash here in the States. Over there in China and other places too, it's becoming scarce throughout the world. It's only seeming like it's starting to be small pockets throughout the population of Earth where there's some semblance of civilization, where there's some semblance of community, of family. Because in Western culture and in civilized society, and it's so crazy because we like to say civilized, but a lot of people don't act civilized. Yeah, we got technology and everything, but the mind frame is not progressing. We're degrading at an alarming rate. If we don't do something now, there is going to be no future, because the kids, all they doing is just picking up where we left off. And if they do that, then how would the world be 50, 100 years from now? Because forgetting now, let's think about the future. We talk about the children in our future, but if they learning the bullshit that we all doing right now as adults, then when they become adults and have children, what are they going to teach their children? That's something that we need to start thinking about.
Hey y'all, so I got a question. How come women that take a man's side become villainized by other women? How come when a woman speaks up in a positive light or in agreement with a man, all of a sudden she's a pick-me? How come when a woman calls out what's right from what's wrong, that goes against what a woman is doing, then that makes her delusional? Why is that? Why do y'all think that it's okay not to hold other women accountable? I'm not even gonna hold you. A lot of y'all women literally disgust me. And the reason why I'm saying that is not because I don't know how to hold a man accountable. It's because I have a head on my shoulders and I have a mind of my own, honey. Okay? A lot of y'all women, y'all like to sit around with other women and try to bash men that really don't deserve it. Y'all like to sit here and point fingers at women that feel like men are in the right when 9 times out of 10, sometimes they do be, okay? Y'all gotta stop thinking that you're being a girl's girl for not holding women accountable. That's unacceptable, and it says a lot about your character, and it says a lot about your mindset, your one track way of thinking. You got to stop it, ladies. It's sad, it's unbecoming, and honestly, it's downright low vibrational.
And it's diabolical because it's downright evil when you think about it. Because all it is misery. And y'all know the old saying, misery loves company. She's right. A lot of women do join together just to talk trash about men. And most times, these women, they had somebody in their corner at some point in their life who could have been potentially a good man. But he was corny, he was lame. He could have been anything in the book. But they chose the other guy, the guy who had the swag, maybe he had the car, maybe other girls liked him. It could have been a million things. But he was no good for him. He may have been good in bed. Like, what's the saying goes? Good for a good time, but not a long time. That's how it is. So when that happens to them and they get used and abused and several baby daddies later, now all men ain't shit.
You're a victim.
And that's what they do. And then if you just so happen to be a female calling them out, then they call you a pick-me. But I also said, keep calling them out, because at the end of the day, they ain't gonna have no choice but to actually accept the fact that they ain't shit. And I hate to say it that way, but a lot of times that's what it be. Like, see, we so caught on, I guess, the abruptness of the message or the messenger that we're not really listening to the message itself, like the problem. And the problem is not the people who's pointing this stuff out. The problem is the people who's doing the bad stuff. I think once we get that in our heads and actually start blaming them instead of coming at us, then we can start seeing a change. But until then, yeah, it's going to keep being messed up.
Men be so sassy. This new generation of men that want to be treated like women is crazy to me. To all my women who feel like this, let me ask you a quick question. What happens when your son brings home a woman who thinks that way? Are you still going to have that same mentality? The majority of men who are just asking for women to reciprocate the time, the effort, the thought. I'm not talking about the and ain't Anthony. Yeah. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the good men who deserve all these things. Y'all calling them sassy when all old boy is asking you to do is to be a good human being? Be an equal partner in a relationship? What is this? If you're not trying to spend $300 on the first date, what are you even trying to date me for? What are you going to do when your son brings this type of woman home? Do we still have these same thought processes? When my son is out here in the world looking for a woman, I want him to choose a woman who's like, yo, I value you. I appreciate you. You had a hard day at work? Tell me about it. You want a specific meal? Let me make it for you because you've been providing for me in all these other ways. Let me show you my appreciation. If he brings home a woman who isn't able to do that, I don't like her.
And I always find it interesting when I hear a woman call men sassy just because they got standards.
It's an evil world we live in.
And I think the reason why they do this is because they're not used to a man with standards. That's because a lot of these women who call men sassy, they used to no good men. They used to men who don't really got nothing going for themselves. They ain't necessarily got to be bums or anything like that. But those type of men are probably just men who like girls who are masculine, who never had someone to teach them that a woman is supposed to be respectable, supposed to respect a man. A lot of those men think that a man with a smart mouth and all that stuff is sexy and all that stuff because they equate all that stuff to the bedroom. And that be the thing. A lot of this stuff, a lot of this aggression, this animosity, it kind of translates towards the bedroom. It translates to sex. And this is men and women. We both do this as human beings. And I think if we get out of that mindset, it would be better. And I can't just say that once we grow, once we reach a certain age, because you got people who are in their 50s and 60s who still do stuff like this. So it's not about age. it's about the thinking, the mind frame, the mentality of people. We got to change the mentality of people because it's just whack. All we do is think about sex. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to situationships, sex is the main thing. Respect, companionship, all that stuff is out the window. And this is why we get a lot of problems that we have today. And when she said about how would you feel about if your son brought a girl home and she felt the same way, would you think the same way? Absolutely not. They won't think the same way. It's funny because it's like a contradiction. You cool with it when it's you, but when it's your kids and everything, oh no, not mine.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, like I said, it's the mind frame. We just gotta change the way people thinking. It just gotta be right all across the board, not just tit for tat, not just here and there, but just all across the board. Once we get that, then yeah, it'll be different. But yeah, I like videos like this. I like the simple fact that we got women, calling other women out. And if we can get more women, which I see a lot more women who are coming into the space and calling women out. Now, one thing I do see is that a lot of these ladies, they just grifting. They see that this space is becoming big and they can make a buck. So they saying whatever they can just so they can get views because they know a lot of men and women is going to, talk about these topics. But if we can genuinely get more women to be in this space and call women out and men out and just do the right thing, then I think we can see a change. But it is what it is, man. That's all I got for now, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Drop y'all comments down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see y'all the next one. Peace.